Back again in the garage. There's the S10, and we got some good news and we got some bad news. The good news is the S10's got some sick new shoes, looking pretty. Makes it a heck of a lot easier to steer this bad boy. It'll make it a little harder to stop, but that's all right. The bad news is she's broke. For those of you that are new to the build, welcome, glad you're here. For those of you that have been following along, I apologize. If you've been around, you know that last year or 2 years ago, we finally got it fired up, and then I went on an extremely long hiatus, but we're back. What you don't know is that I did take it up and down the road a time or two. What I'm guessing happened, we had an issue with the cooling system. The engine got a little too hot, a little too fast, and on one of my test runs, I might have had the piston ring gap completely close up. Since this is a stock block, this was really just a test block to build the whole thing on. I did not gap the piston rings at all, and if you know anything about turbos, you probably know that that is not a good thing to do. But enough wasting your time, enough guessing. Today we're going to tear it all down, see what happened, and we'll go from there. So there you have it, easy like Sunday morning. We got the engine pulled out. Now all that's left is to rip these two aluminum trunks off the top and get to the bottom of it. So we got her all stripped down, and what we appear to have here is a classic case of the slightly bent rod. I don't know if you can see it down in there, but basically, like I said earlier on, I didn't really gap the rings at all, being as this was the stock test block for building. Not doing so resulted in a little bit too much heat in the piston, a little bit too much closure on that ring gap, basically. Not seized it, but tried to, and something gave, and that something was the rod. Basically what was happening, it was knocking pretty hard, but not hard enough to stop it from running. Still ran fine, but it just would get way too hot, and so fortunately this was a temporary block, and so I needed to tear this all down anyway, and get the stuff ready to go to the new block, which hopefully we will be seeing here shortly. Of course, there's a little bit more to strip off here. My super damper, my water pump, oil pump if it's still salvageable. So this is farewell to the first engine in the S10, but that's all right. It was a good engine. It served its purpose. It ran for about 10 minutes. And on to the next one, eh? You may, in the background, have seen the next project here, depending on how videos come out. You may see this before, you may not. Right now, it's got the old back bumper ripped off of it. Basically, it's getting a little bit of work done to the fuel system, putting a new fuel pump in there and a new gas tank and all that fun stuff. In order to do that, you got to rip the bumper off, which was extremely not fun for individuals with larger hands, but that's for a later date. Anywho, thanks for watching. Appreciate it as always. Hope you'll stick around to see the rest of the build. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.